All right, everyone. Welcome. The newest episode of Goosebump Moment Presents. Today, my guest is Deborah Laurel, and we're going to be talking about her company and what she does. As a matter of fact, I'm a big fan of what she does because years ago I was I did work in her field for a little bit of time. So this is quite fascinating to me. Plus, there's a lot of small businesses out there that need to hear what she's got coming up. Um, and we're going to talk about that too. So, welcome, Deborah. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm wondering why our banner isn't scrolling, but that's okay. We'll manage. Okay. So, um, you're located here in the States. Where in the States are you located?
I'm in Madison, Wisconsin, although I do training nationally and internationally
And virtually, right?
and virtually, yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, let's talk about your company. What's the name of it, and what is it that you specialize in?
Well, I actually have two companies. Laurel and Associates is where I design and deliver accelerated learning training programs that build skills for managers, for employees, and for trainers. That I do have a focus on train the trainer. And then the Peer Learning Institute, which is an offshoot of Laurel and Associates, focuses on management development using small peer learning groups.
Okay. And what particular type of people inside those groups are you looking to reach out to?
In the peer learning groups or the in general?
In general.
In general. I don't really excuse me. I don't really have a target industry, although I have done a lot of work in the energy industry and banking and state government. But it's really the focus is on any organization that believes that building employee skills is a good way to attract them and to retain them.
Okay. There we go. There we go. Fine.
I'm sorry.
Yes. So let's talk about the training part of it. In small businesses, um, when you were talking about either CEOs or sales teams or managers or even employees, what is it that the whole purpose, the whole message is around what you offer?
I'm sorry. I don't know what is going on. Excuse me. Just a moment here.
That's quite all right. You take care of what you need to take care of. It's that time of year, Deb.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. We were both discussing how cold it is.
Yeah.
Employees need to have the skills and managers need to have the skills they need to be effective. And many managers are promoted from technical positions where there's the assumption that they will then understand how it is to manage employees. And that's not necessarily the case. And very often it is not the case because the technical skills that they were using don't translate into the interpersonal management skills and the management skills. Knowing how to make an assignment, knowing how to interact with an employee, knowing how to create a motivational environment, knowing how to delegate so that employee can develop skills and progress. So from that standpoint, we focus on managers. Now, employees need skills beyond the technical skills that they are given. And I'm assuming they're being given technical skills because a lot of employees, just as managers, are sent to sink or swim.
That's exactly right. They are.
And then when they're not successful, they're held to blame, which is really is unfair and is immoral, I think, because managers' jobs are to set employees up to be successful.
It's part of the leadership assignment that managers are supposed to have.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And the reason why I focus on trainers is because there is this persistent belief that lecture is the mode to use. And we know that because that's what they have experienced often in their schools, in their colleges. That's what is the predominant understanding as to what it means to be in education. And with lecture, all we learn, I'll give you an example. I was auditing a training of an energy professional who was well received by the audience and had great war stories and was able to showcase his expertise. And everybody left saying, boy, I wish I knew how to do what he does, as opposed to leaving saying, oh, I know what to do. I can go do that myself. There's, the whole difference in terms of helping participants learn what they need to learn, practice what they need to learn, leave with some confidence in their own competence.
And that's a very good point, because again, I know, coming from all the backgrounds that I come from, you're 100% right. When a company requires you to go and take additional training, or maybe it's a continuing education class that you are required to take to keep your certification, so most of them are lecture oriented, and you spend, my goodness, sometimes 2 hours or 3 hours in these training sessions, and all you do is take notes. And from those notes, what do we do with the notes when we get done with them? We don't look at them again. They're forgotten, or they're tossed away, or they're left behind, or shoved away in some drawer, and we never use the information we've been given. So that's very important, that what you do, you can train actually right there and then, and they can take it immediately back and apply it, correct?
Correct, because they have also had an opportunity to practice it in the class. Because people don't take some just basic information and then translate into action. It doesn't happen that way for most folks.
No.
Folks, and if what we're just giving them is information, why don't we just send them an email?
Correct. I mean, that is so true. I mean, that you're just passing words along, right?
That's why I say that I design skill building training programs.
Fabulous.
So if someone is learning how to delegate, if a manager is learning how to delegate, that manager goes through case studies, goes through assessments, actually designs a delegation that they can put into practice as soon as they get back to the office.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Cool. And that is unique, because there's not many trainers or educators out there who do that, who provide that immediate practice, the immediate application, and then, because that would stick with them, and then they can take it right directly back into the work environment.
Exactly. Now, the whole premise of the Peer Learning Institute is that we want to avoid the situation where a manager goes to a workshop, learns some things that might be useful, but then doesn't have an opportunity to put it into practice immediately. And so it's lost. We call that scrap training. It's a waste of time and money for everyone. So instead, we put them in peer learning groups 4 or 5 managers from the same organization who are dealing with a similar issue, managing a hybrid workforce, for example.
Mhm.
They will learn in 90 minutes how to manage a hybrid workforce. They leave with some techniques, and for a month, they go back and manage the hybrid workforce using those new behaviors, and we reinforce it for a month on a weekly basis with micro-learning tips, with check-ins with the peer buddy drawn from the group, with having them keep a brief log. What did I do? What happened? What did I learn? And they know at the end of the month, they're going to be held accountable because they have to report to their group when they reconvene for a second 90-minute session.
And that accountability is important.
The accountability and the we want learning used and retained. And so often, and I teach those workshops where people come and then they may not be able to use it when they get back to the job.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a terrible feeling. It's a terrible feeling because that, well, there's also the issue that when you have a management training that draws people from different organizations, it's got to be pretty vanilla. The examples have got to be general enough so that everybody can relate. But once they get back into their own businesses, they've got to then translate it to see, well, does that fit in my culture? Is that the right management approach that we use? How is that going to actually look? And most people don't have the time or energy to go through that kind of discussion and consideration.
Correct. Okay. So let's talk about a workshop you've got coming up.
Thank you. Yes. It's how to manage stress before it manages you. And we've scheduled it just before Thanksgiving. We'll do it again
for the holidays. Yes.
Because, of course, in the holidays, that's when people tend to act out and stress gets, you can cut it with a spoon or a knife.
Yes.
The stress is there.
Yes.
And so this is from 11 to 2:30 on November 9th, and that's a Central Time. And it's going to help people recognize when they get the stress, recognize how they act out on that stress, and plan how they're going to deal with the stressors that come up when Uncle Joe is going to be nasty to everyone, or Grandma June is just difficult.
Yeah.
Or you're worried that your husband or wife are going to end up yelling at somebody because they've just had it.
And all the stress that the holidays brings on, regardless of what the situation is. Everybody always feels a modicum of stress in that time. Kat, a friend of Deb and I, Kat just posted an Eventbrite link if you would like to. So copy that down, folks. Plus, if you would like, this is done on Zoom, is it correct?
Right.
Okay.
So
okay. Virtual. I mean, you're talking about November. The weather is iffy. She lives in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm in Iowa, and we're both experiencing all kinds of cold weather. And I know that over in Ohio and in the upper northeast of the states, they're already having snow. They're calling for 4 to 8 inches of snow already. It's only the middle of October, for crying out loud. So November 9th, 11 to 2:30 on Zoom. If you would like to attend this workshop, reach out to Deb. I have it scrolling at the bottom, but verbally give us your email address.
It's DLaurel, LAUREL, at Laurel, LAUREL, and is spelled out, associates is spelled out.com.
I have that incorrect at this on the scroll. So please just say that one more time.
D Laurel, Laurel, at Laurel, Laurel, and is spelled out, associates is spelled out.com.
Thank you. My apologies.
Well, it's
Yeah, we're passing it back and forth, aren't we? Oh, look, bless her heart. Kat put that up there for
and it's
you.
really Kat Hurd, not Kat Leslie.
It's Kat Leslie Hurd.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, she goes by Kat Leslie on Facebook and Kat Hurd.
Okay. I did not know that.
It's Catherine, actually. Catherine. Okay, so is there anything left that you would like to talk about or mention that we haven't included here?
I just want to reinforce how important training is. That given the situation now where we've had our great resignation, we've got the economy plummeting, people aren't clear where they want to be or whether they want to stay. And and HR managers are having a terrible time attracting new staff or managers. That providing training opportunities is one of the best ways to attract and retain good employees as well as good managers.
And we need to focus on that retention
themselves.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. We do need to work on the retention of employees and stop this revolving doors mode that we're in a lot of businesses. We need to focus on that more. Yes.
And we know that employees don't leave companies, they leave managers.
Correct.
They don't feel that they've been respected, if they don't feel that they're comfortable, if they don't feel supported, if they don't have an opportunity to use their strengths and to develop new ones, why stay?
Exactly.
And if they do stay and they're unhappy, then that's a bad situation for everyone, because then they are not engaged and they're not performing. And that's the quiet quitter that people talk about.
And when managers and business owners give the employee a reason to stay, to allow them to feel that they have some ownership or some value in what it is that they are performing, then that says a lot to management as well. That's good management. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Everybody wants to feel needed and important, regardless of what position you have in a job. So when management, my apologies, when management takes the effort and the time to focus on the employee, that you can't go wrong in a company. Okay, Deb, let's rehash. You've got a workshop coming up on November the 9th at on Zoom, and that goes from 11 to 2:30 p.m. Central. And if you would like more information, reach out to Deb Laurel or D Laurel at laurelandassociates.com. There you go. I got it. And ask for more information. It's crucial for your business. We're going to be talking later this week, actually, about new strategies for a business. Good rejuvenation, replanning, rethinking about business, because I say this all the time. In the last 2 years, the face of business has changed, and it's not what it was even 2 years ago. And in fact, I'll even go that a mile further. Even a year ago, things have changed so radically within the business environment. If you're not constantly rethinking, retraining, relearning, and putting back into your business, you really are not going to be very successful in the long run. And we're coming up on the year end, so we want to make sure that our year end is attractive and impressive. So, Deb, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and thank you for agreeing to do this interview. Great interview. I love it.
It was my honor. Thank you so much. You're great at this.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, ladies, I got an interview coming up tomorrow. Hang on. Another great interview coming up. Let me pull up my calendar. Tomorrow, I'm doing an interview with a lady that lives in Witham, UK, but she's got the most unique business, and that is cards. All kinds of cards, business cards, greeting cards, birthday cards, holiday cards, and they're all done by local artists. They're all individual, all unique. So I'm excited about doing that one as well. That one will be at 10:30 a.m. Central Time. So please join me again tomorrow. And if you have a business that you would like to have stand out, shine out, get noticed, then reach out to me either on Facebook or on LinkedIn, and let's get you booked for an interview. It's worth it. It's worth it. I promise you. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. Deb, we'll see you in a networking group later on.
Absolutely.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for watching and attending.